Hey, good afternoon, good morning, good evening to all of you out there who are watching these series on how to go pro. 7 steps to becoming a network marketing professional. And I really appreciate you coming here and liking, following, commenting, and maybe even subscribing to this channel. It helps the algorithm. See, when the algorithm goes out there, more people see it and may get some understanding of what's going on. Because I'm tell you what, I was a poser and an amateur for a real long time, for many years. I just went out there, threw things against the wall and see if they stuck. Most of the things didn't stick. Most of the things slid down off the wall, and I had to redo it overall again. Over 40 companies, 36 years. I finally learned that being a professional is a lot different than being a poser and an amateur. And if you go back, watch my video on amateurs and posers, you'll find out that being a professional and being a pro is better than that. And but you learn as you go through this whole thing. But anyway, this is step 5. You get one is confirmation. Get the time commitment. Okay, a lot of people don't get the time commitment. I'm guilty of it too. Okay, I'm not perfect at it, and this is going to help me as well as it's helping you. Okay, you've asked, if I, would you? And they said yes. The next step is get the time commitment. When do you think you could watch the DVD for sure? When do you think you could listen to the CD? Or when do you think you could read the magazine that I gave you? Or when do you think you could watch the link or get on the Zoom or whatever? It's when do you think you could? When do you think you could? That would be a good thing to remember and get it etched in your mind. To ask the person, since they said yes to everything, now you want to close them. You want to say, okay, when do you think you could? You'll find out it works a lot better. I'll give you a really cool thing. If you or your wife, if you're the husband and you're over there and you're saying, honey, where would you like to go tonight for dinner? And what does she say? She says, I don't know. And you say, I know you don't know, but if you did, what would it be? And I promise you, she'll say what it is every time. Every time you say that, I know you don't know, but if you knew what you wanted, what would it be? And I guarantee you, they will give you an answer. That's a golden nugget. I hope it helps, and I hope you use it. Don't suggest a time, okay? Don't suggest a time for them. Let them figure it out. That's another mistake that I made early on. I do that typically. I will say da 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 da, and I go or no, and I got to get out of the habit of doing that, because I do that occasionally, and I really don't want to do that. But just ask the question and wait for them to respond. Don't respond for them. This question makes them think about their schedule and give them time to think. A lot of people don't give time to think. They think they need to come in and rush in and say something right away. Excuse me. You don't. I was taught in sales, you wait a minute, and a minute is a long time. If you timed yourself for a minute, it'd be a long time. If you sat there and be in silence for a minute after you asked a question, they will definitely break the silence. It says whoever speaks first loses. And it's true. The question makes them think about the schedule and their commitments. They're thinking in their head, do I have something going on that day? Do I have something or whatever? You get occasionally those people will tell you, yeah, and they'll give you all these commitments, and then they never show up anyway, because they weren't really committed to doing it. They're just appeasing you for that. Just watch out for those people too. Find a place to review your tool and communicate that back to you. They're thinking, well, when can I do this? Can I really do this? And they're thinking, and if you come rushing in and say something, you disrupt their thinking, and they're going to say, no, I can't do it. Or they'll just, you've run your play, you don't do it. Don't do it. And back, in other words, it makes it'll make it real, and when you first ask, if I would you, and they said yes, it was someday. Okay, you ever done this? Hey, let's get together for lunch. Yeah, we'll do that. Let's get together sometime. You know what the key word is to get them to give you an answer? I'll give you that later. No, I'll tell you. The key is when. The key is when. Like if they say, we'll get together for lunch, and you say when, and they'll give you a date. They will, every time. You say when. Don't let them get away with saying, because 3 years will go by and you never had lunch. My friend said to my dad, you know what, I'll come over here and break open a Guinness and pour it and show you how it works. The guy never, ever saw my dad. Never. He never made it. He never did it. He just said, one day we'll do it. Yeah, you stuck in the one-day aisle syndrome. One day aisle. Don't be like that. So when you get a time commitment, it starts to be real. Okay? The only thing that matters is that they give you a time. Okay? It doesn't matter what time it is. Let them think about their schedule and tell you when they will have reviewed the material for sure. Look, at 90% of the time, they will give you an answer, okay? The other 10% of the time, they will be vague, saying something like, well, I'll try to do it sometime. They say they try. That word means I won't do it. Just remember the word try is not. You remember Yoda? He said, there is no try. There is no try. You can't try, because that try will get you out. That try will say, hey, at least I tried. It's escape. Don't let them escape. If they do that, then tell them, I don't want to waste your time or mine. Okay? Make your time valuable. Your time is valuable. Don't sit there and say their time is more valuable than yours. You are in the business. They're not. Your time is very valuable, and treat it that way. Why don't we just lock in a time when you will have time for sure? Let's just lock in a time right now. Okay? I have my calendar open. Do you have yours? Let's lock in a time that we can do it for sure. Remember, they already said they'll review it in step 4. This is just confirming the time. The key to all this is they have now said yes twice. The first time when they answered, if I would you. And the second time when you received a time commitment from them. That's 2. So now you can give them the tool, right? Wrong. You're not done. You're not done yet. The professionals take a few more seconds to complete a couple of more steps before they've finished. And we'll get into that on the next step, which is step 6, confirmation 2, confirm the time commitment. We'll see you over and out. Thanks for watching. Follow and comment and subscribe for more. Thank you.